I'm your host, Julian Thomas from Neuqua Connection. Here are my two guests, Brandon and Brad, and today we're going to talk about a variety show. So for starters, why did you guys choose to do a variety show? Brad, you may start.
Variety show was a unique experience for us. It was my senior year in high school, and I was involved deeply in the media department. So going into variety show, I knew I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't know if I wanted to be a host or if I wanted to be on the camera side and direct it. So I chose to direct it and work on the cameras, and I was able to film the promo video and do all that stuff. So it was definitely a highlight of my high school career.
Brandon?
Yeah, honestly, it came with obviously, as you know, I'm a singer, and so I was like, I have to try and get out here and try and inspire people some way. And the first 3 years of Neuqua Valley, I was here, my voice was still changing a lot, and I was like, here we go, it's a senior year, I can finally get out there and try and show what I can do. And so I figured, this would be a good opportunity to make friends, connections, network around, and be able to experience something that was kind of like a once in a lifetime thing almost, it felt like.
Can you explain exactly what you did for a variety show? Like your role?
Yeah. Okay, so basically, I sang a song called Let Me Love You by Mario, and I picked this song because, one, R&B is my favorite genre of all time, as everyone knows, and so it was a good song that I was able to connect to, plus it was around Valentine's Day, which made it even better, because I was able to really relate the topic back to the holiday too, and so I just was like, okay, here we go, I got to get out here and make this sound like really cool and really like have a good time and just perform. And I was, in a suit, had a hat that everyone wanted. It wasn't this one, but, one that everyone loved. And so I just thought it was, something that I had a really good time doing.
Yeah, for me, all throughout high school, I took media. So I was always behind the camera, and I knew, kind of that's what I wanted to major at the time in college, which isn't what I'm majoring in anymore. But that's besides the fact. So going into it, I wanted to be involved with it. I knew my friends were in it in the past. They directed it. They were cameramen. So I knew I wanted to be a part of it. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I've never really been on this side of the camera. So this is a first for me because I've always been behind the camera. So going into variety show, I knew I wanted to be a part of it. And I knew that behind the camera was my calling. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to direct it. I was the director and the producer with another director named Fahim. And we coordinated together, we produced it, we made sure that all the shots were perfect. So the DVD that Brandon picked up after the show, we were the ones who filmed it. We had all the shots, we had the input, we had the music, the soundtracks. We made the promo video in the beginning. So yeah, it was definitely a cool experience.
And adding on to that, another thing that was really cool was the fact that they had a DVD for us was really cool that we got to rewatch it and see it afterwards, which again, you can see your flaws, so in case you ever were to perform or do something again, you can correct yourself off of that. Plus, I had also seen the variety show my junior year. I wish I would have went my freshman and sophomore year, but saw it my junior year before. And after seeing all the super incredible talented acts, I was like, I have to try and do this myself.
So how many times have you guys participated in a variety show?
For me, it was just 1 year. I just did it my senior year in high school. I went to variety show all 4 years, and my senior year I knew I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to kind of go out and experience it, and like I said before, it was definitely a highlight. It was one of the best things I've experienced in my senior year of high school, besides prom, of course. So that was the reason why, and it kind of a funny story, but going into variety show, I always told Brandon, I was like, if you do it, I'll do it. So that's kind of what happened. He tried out, he made it, so I knew
Somehow.
I knew that I wanted to be a part of it because one, my best friend was in it, but I knew almost everybody in the show. So I thought it would be cool to be able to film them, show their talents, and let the whole school see what they had, what they were made of.
I see. So overall, how was the experience of being the cameraman, the main person, being one of the main singers in variety show, the experience of practicing, doing the acts, having all the fans and everything, all of that. What words would you say to describe all of that?
Oh man. There's a lot of words I could say for that. I mean, honestly, such an incredible feeling the entire time, when I was out there performing, when I was in the back rehearsing, because everyone was so friendly and nice. And again, it was senior year. By the time you guys, get to your senior year, basically everyone. And so when you have a whole bunch of friends doing it, it's just you can relate to everybody, and you can make jokes with people, and you see people in the back and forth, and the Friday night show, is when all of your student friends that aren't in it are there, and so that show is the wildest, and everyone goes crazy, and the applause is just so worth it at the end. So 10 out of 10 would recommend if you guys would want to try to do
Yeah,
it.
so I've seen it, and I've seen your part, so you got a lot of applause, right?
Friday night, yeah, I did get a little bit of more than a little bit of applause. It was really cool because basically like Friday night, like I said, I had all of like mainly my friends that, that weren't in the show were there. So like they would all scream my name before I even got on the show. So it kind of would hype you up to get out there and try even harder out there. And then like usually the next show after that, Saturday afternoon, that one's more or less older, the grandparents and stuff like that will come out. The show's not as big, but it's cool to, give them a show. And then Saturday night's the parents and everything, which is also really cool.
Do you wish you guys both would have done it the previous years in high school?
Yeah, I definitely wish I would have. I started media in my sophomore year in high school, and I was always behind the camera, like I've kind of said the whole time. But like experiencing it my senior year was definitely a highlight, and I totally wish that I would have done it all 3 years. Even if I was just a cameraman, I probably wouldn't have been a director right away. But it was definitely a cool experience, and to say that you were a part of it. So like when you were a sophomore, those seniors, that DVD, you could have been a part of it. So I definitely wish I would have done it all 3 years of my media career, if not all 4.
Yeah, same thing. Because I only did media 1 year, and that was my senior year. And I wish I would have did it before, but I was in band. And so, again, that kind of goes back to me already having a little bit of musical insight when it comes to, different songs and everything. So I was able to kind of correlate with those type of differences. So I was like, okay, yeah, definitely want to try. I really wish I would have had done this all 4 years. It would have been really cool.
So besides each other, like who else like supported you guys to like do Riot Show? Or is that just on your own decisions, really?
Personally, for me, like I knew that I wanted to do it right away. Brandon, of course, influenced me a little bit, but I know that John Gelsomino, he kind of pushed me to do it because I was so involved my senior year in media. We produced the Neuqua PD, the Spirit Week videos that year. I was a coordinating producer for that. So going into Variety Show, he was kind of like pushing me to do it, whether I was a director or a cameraman. So G was definitely a big influence, and also Miss Trout was. I worked pretty well with her too. I was always in the Wildcat Weekly classes, bumping my head in and all that kind of stuff. So both those teachers, they kind of influenced me and pushed me towards that. Also at the time, I was going to go to Columbia College to study cinematography and photography. So going into that role, it would have been a big thing to say you were part of a live production. So like I said, I changed my major, but it was definitely something that influenced me to do that.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah, I'm exact same way. Brad, huge influence. He was like, Brandon, you got to try and do this, man. Like, I know you can sing. Like, you got to try and get out there and, show some of your talent. And I was like, yeah, for sure. I was thinking about it, but obviously, I'm not going to lie. Like, I was nervous, really nervous. Like, I was like, man, like, what if I don't make it? And, like, someone who, I was just really worried about it the entire time. But then my friend Dom, who's, like a cautious freak, like super, super worried about everything. It's like he thinks the worst situation about everything would happen. He was like, yeah, man, I'm going to be a host at a variety show. And I go, what? You're going to be a host? He's like, yeah, dude, it's going to be cool. I was like, all right, man, if you're going out, then I'm definitely going out. So he and like a whole bunch of my other friends, they definitely came in and were like, yeah, Brendan, you got to do this. Like, this is going to be super fun. We're going to have a good time. Plus, like, you don't have to worry. Like, you have a whole bunch of friends supporting you. They're going to be there with you. It's definitely like something you want to definitely do. And I said, yeah, for sure.
So putting Variety Show in the past, you two are both in college right now, correct?
Yep.
So what are you two majoring currently in college?
Right now, I'm finishing my second year at College of DuPage. After I'm transferring to Lewis University, I'm double majoring in aviation and flight management. The end game goal, I'm going to be a commercial airline pilot, but I'm double majoring, so the second major is flight management, which is the business side. So I'm going to learn how to run an airport, run an airline. So pretty much that's what I'm going to do in the next 4 or 5 years of my life.
And then, obviously, same as Brad in the beginning, I'm at College of DuPage for 2 years. I'll be graduating in like 2 weeks. And then after that, well, not graduating actually, but we'll be finished with it in 2 weeks. And then after that, I'll be going to Illinois State, and I'll be majoring in information technology. I'll be going into cybersecurity. So, there's been a whole bunch of cyber attacks recently, with all these crazy, outbursts of, people hearing of wars and stuff. So you want to get in there. I'll be, one of those people trying to help out to make sure, our networks stay safe and they don't get hacked, because those hack attacks are really dangerous. And sorry to kind of change the subject, but also when I get to Illinois State, I also obviously want to try and see if they have some sort of talent shows or something like that, because I'll definitely try and participate in that too. It'd be pretty cool to try and expand it some more.
I see. But unfortunately, this is all the time we have left today. Again, I'm your host, Julian Thomas. Thank you both for coming. This is Neuqua Connection.